I'm going through, I'll probably go through the same people that's got the first aid and stuff. So they own them, they take care of them, they're responsible for them. Cause, I mean, we already see what the first one's done. You buy them, the batteries go bad, pads go bad, they ain't gonna replace them.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about that? What's the plan on that? Sure. Because I look mine up, I can get mine.
Hear everything.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that if you want to. I just don't have the.
Yeah, I don't want to do, if the town's planning on that budget, you're buying all new for everybody.
I ain't been no talk about it. I've been asking for 5, 6 years now.
I need one of them.
Oh, you definitely do. I agree.
I mean, with basketball and
They
everything.
need one down here. They need one at the police department. I mean,
we'll talk about safety. Don't we have safety this week?
I turned it off.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I mean, the other company, the last people I talked to,
That's true.
the guy, it's a monthly rent, just like the first aid kids and the eye wash stuff. They take care of everything. I took it to them and they said, oh, it ain't in the budget, so.
Bring it in and let's, I'll bring what they do, Brian. Let's talk about it, because I mean, I really think personally, I think every patrol car needs one.
And look, when they told me they won't go buy batteries and stuff, they don't want in the budget, I said, well, okay. And I told Jay, I said, go remove them all, because if OSHA comes in and they're there and they're not working or out of date, it's a fine. If there ain't nothing there, they can't find it.
Right. Well, I've got, like I said, I looked mine up the other day and got some prices on my stuff. And like I said, I didn't want to put in for a purchase order until I found out how we were going to move.
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, they say they might tell you that it's free. I don't know. I end up being something different. It might be hell to skeleton. Have you driven by his house? Could be called Watson in the sky.
That was the second time. That's not good. Did AC come out and take her?
Good evening and welcome to our January 13th Governing Board meeting. At this time, I would like to call the meeting to order. Thank you. Very good. At this time, I would like to call the meeting to order. Roll call. If you would, please. Mr. Clerk.
Mayor Newborn.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Langley.
Here.
Commissioner Newell. Commissioner Connor. Here. Commissioner Goff. Here. Commissioner Davis. Here.
Yes, for those visiting tonight that wish to make public comment, you still have a chance if you want to. I noticed we have one person tonight that is interested. If we have someone in the audience, with all fairness, you can come up and we'll get you signed up. There'll be no one to move forward on that. At this time, I would like to do we have any ministers in the house and any preachers in the house? Okay, none. At this time, I would like to do a prayer for invocation. If you would, please bow your head. I'll make this as short as possible. Heavenly Father, we thank once again for allowing us to come into your presence. We ask that you lead us, guide us, touch our hearts to do the right thing. Those Aydenites or Ayden people, they call them, that is sick and shut in, we ask for you to touch them, to strengthen them, and lead them in the right direction. We ask that you let us work collectively, that you allow us to work like brothers and sisters to make our town a much better town. I ask this in Jesus' holy name, amen. Amen. It's time to pray. Are there any comments or revisions to the agenda before I ask for an approval?
I have one, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Under presentations, I'd like to move that up in front of public comments.
Yes, sir.
That's the AARP Inspiration Award for Ms. Norris. And also, I'd like to add 2 discussion items. Under item 7, one is AMI presentation, and the other one is common measures for downtown Ayden.
The first one, the second one will be?
Okay, you've got the AMI,
Yes, sir.
the AMI, and then the common measures for downtown Ayden. Under item discussion number 7.
Are there any other items that need to be placed on the agenda?
I would like to bring up discussion on a new policy for employees driving town vehicles. Reviewing that policy and seeing what we have and what we need to do with that policy.
Is that it? Any others?
I'd like to add, appointments and recreation, commission.
Any others? Everybody, we all clear on that? Okay, at this time, I would like, to ask for a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Motion made by Mayor Pro Tem Langley, second by Commissioner Connor. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Okay, motion carries. All right. Okay, I'm getting ready to open up for public comments. I gave everyone a second chance just in case you didn't get a chance to sign up. First on the, well, the only one, first and only. Okay, at this time, I'm sorry. At this time, we had a little switching to move around, but we're gonna get it right. At this time, I would like to ask Mrs. Andrea Norris to come forward. If she would, please.
here, before I get into the thing, I gotta do it. It's good that we have people like her in our community. The first time I heard her name mentioned, that I can recall, was from a former teacher of mine, Chuck Dunn. He and his wife Cindy opened up Cigarette. Let me this lady you talking about. He said, well, she got a swell husband. So I met him, and honestly, even when this lady here is the real deal as far as a good, solid Christian human being. We all should be proud of her. She is an example for everyone to follow. Please believe me. Nothing but kindness in dealing with her as she displayed education, wisdom. I love her to death. And Bill knows that. And my wife loves her to death. And a lot of people know that. So, without further ado, the old man glasses on. Get very, very still. From the governing board and town staff of the Town of Ayden, North Carolina, tonight, we gather to honor and recognize a remarkable individual who has dedicated nearly 5 decades of her life to serving our community. Miss Andrea Norris is not just a familiar face around town. She is the embodiment of selfless service and unwavering dedication. Ms. Norris has been a beacon of light in our town, always going above and beyond to help those in need and make Ayden a better place for everyone. Her countless acts of kindness, her tireless efforts, and her infectious positivity have touched the lives of so many of our residents, leaving a lasting impact that will be felt for years to come. It is with great honor and gratitude that we, the governing board of the Town of Ayden, wish to present Mrs. Andrea Norris with the key to the town. Yeah. This symbolic gesture is a small token of our appreciation for her decades of service and her unwavering commitment to the well-being of our community. Ms. Norris, your dedication, compassion, and generosity inspire us all to be better, to do more, and to give back. You are a true example of what it means to be a community leader and a role model for us all. As we present you, this guy's always on time. As we present you, this key, we do so with heartfelt thanks and admiration. May it serve as a reminder of the lasting impact you have made on the Town of Ayden and its residents. Thank you, Ms. Norris, for your service, your kindness, and your unwavering commitment to our community. Ayden is a better place, all because of you.
Helping to establish the museum. But this would not have happened without the Town of Ayden. They gave us the encouragement, they gave us the support, and they gave us the place, and we continue to give back to the museum. Our whole goal is to make the town proud of the museum and I am proud, it's been my passion. It's not been a chore. I could spend every day, hours a day. I love it. And if you haven't been to the museum, come. And if it's not open, call me. I'm 5 minutes away. And I love talking about it. Just tell me whether you have 30 minutes or 3 hours. Thank you very much. This is quite an honor. I appreciate it.
Okay, we are so blessed, Jennifer, even in our presence. Okay. Next up, Mrs. Patty Richardson for public comment.
That isn't fair. We're really proud of you. We love you. That's what an honor. Again, Patty Richardson, I was on the 22 Golden Circle in Ayden. And I'm just, coming up here once again with a pretty heavy heart. I've calmed down a lot since the last meeting, but I just feel like I would not be doing my duty as a constituent of this town to not share a concern that I have. And that is that we have excellent qualified candidates applying for boards that have really pretty much proven their dedication. They've not missed meetings in several months, several years, as a matter of fact. They brought things alike that help take this town to a better place and learn from mistakes, correct mistakes, and really take us to where we really need to be as a town. And it seems to be consistently that these people are overlooked for somebody that you may haven't seen at a meeting in several years. And it is concerning. We have candidates that are very well qualified educationally and experience-wise, and they're totally dismissed. Now, it's my understanding, and I think where the heaviness of my heart comes from, is that it has specifically been said to me by board members that there are certain families that don't want involved in this town. And it was specifically said to me that my family is one of them. And when there's a decision made to overlook an appointee because their ancestors laid in a graveyard on the other side of town, then y'all really need to rethink where you're at. I have the utmost respect for the seats that you're sitting in, but when there's decisions being made that is overlooking really the right direction and the proper insight that can be offered to this town, it's just wrong, y'all. And I was flat out told by one of the board members that it's because of who this person is, because they're related to my family. And is that really what y'all want to be known for? Or do you want to be known for being able to pick the best candidates, got the most to offer to help our town move forward?
Thank you, Mrs. Richardson. Thank you. At this time, I would like to close the public comment section. Next up, Mr. Rich Moore.
All right, I appreciate it. First of a couple of appearances, but this particular item is just to kind of give a broad update in terms of where we are with regards to improvements on the sanitary sewer collection system. As it has been brought out in the past, we've had concerns with inflow infiltration. That's certainly a cost factor. We're paying for every bit of non-sewer that's getting into our collection system, and we're pumping it to CMSD. We're paying for it. Our share of the operating costs of CMSD is based on the volume of sewer pumped to them. So, inflow infiltration is a problem, and it's something that we do take seriously, and that we want to do as much as we can to eliminate from our collection system. So, we've got a brief summary of of what we have done and what we are doing with regards to our sanitary sewer collection system. So in terms of active projects, the one that we just completed was a $1 million community development block grant that replaced sewer lines on Orman, Jackson, Thrower, and Joyner streets. And this was a 40-plus-year-old age collection system with old brick manholes that were in poor condition. The streets were all settled and broken up. We completed it. Those assets have been placed back into service, and I would say pleased with how it turned out. Kind of piggybacking on that, we received a $1.4 million community development block grant to rehabilitate our pump station number 1 and replace our sewer collection lines on Flood Drive and Iola Drive, which is kind of the former Carmichael Mobile Home Park. It's referred to as Ayden Mobile Estate. You kind of see our existing pump station back there sits down in a pit. It's actually located in the floodplain. This has been a problem with regards to, you kind of see it's like a berm that's built up around it, and that's kind of to keep the flood water from getting into it. This thing's been a problem. It's flooded on several occurrences. The town has to go out there and really keep monitoring it to make sure that the flow levels are down so that it does not have a spill event. Our plans and specifications for this project were approved by the state at the end of December, and so we will be in the process of advertising that project this month. So we will see activity soon, and we'll come back to you with a recommendation of award, hopefully in at your February or March meeting. Kind of connecting to that project, the town was awarded a $500,000 principal forgiveness loan, which is, I guess a fancy grant word, to rehabilitate and replace the existing sewer line that's located in the floodplain along Swift Creek. And this is a sewer outfall that connects that pump station number 1 all the way over to 2nd Street. And you kind of see from that picture, manholes flush to the ground every time we have a significant rain event, and the waters encroach outside of the creek. It certainly covers up that manhole and all the manholes in this project. And we know that this is a significant problem where when it floods, that sewer line is just draining the creek. So this was a good improvement. This will be a significant difference just in terms of providing flood protection for the town's assets. We've met the initial milestone event, which was the approval of our engineering report, and we are now in the process of developing the final plans and specifications for that for submittal. Most recently, we had the opportunity to apply for some additional community development block grant monies. The town's success in prior implementation, I guess, made y'all an attractive candidate to the state, and they really approached to make sure that we could do something to continue to address the town's needs. Town was awarded $1.6 million CDBG monies, and these are to address the replacement of the aged sewer lines in the Woodcrest Housing Authority area. Several years ago, the town had a pump station that was in the Woodcrest area, and when the Country Air Station and you made some improvements to put the outfall line all the way over to the road, pump station was abandoned, but the existing sewer lines were never replaced. You can see these existing sewer lines are pitched by clay, brick manholes, sewer lines in some areas. You can probably kick the dirt off the top of them. Probably less than a foot of cover on a lot of them. This project will allow all of those to be replaced, including the service connections to the housing units in the Woodcrest area. Our first milestone event was the submittal of an engineering report. We've gotten, we are waiting for approval of that. We would anticipate approval probably next month, and then that will allow us to move forward with the next step with regards to plan preparation to move forward with implementation. Our last little project that we've got active was the town was awarded $580,000 of sanitary sewer asset inventory and assessment. And those funds were awarded, partly for evaluation of your entire sewer collection system. Kind of based on solicitation. Dukes Root Control is a contractor, and they are actively in town cleaning and inspecting your existing collection system. And you'll see, their truck, they've been here for probably 45 days. They basically work Tuesday through Friday morning. They are probably have another 6 weeks of work in order to complete and to finalize the reports. We've kind of been monitoring what they did, what they've done so far. Certainly we're looking for problems that are directly contributing towards inflow infiltration. I've got some slides that just kind of basically show you what we run into. This is a manhole on West Barwick Street. Manhole is just running groundwater around a boot connection in the manhole. This is a continual flow of infiltration into the town sewer collection system. The next one is this kind of a representative example of a sewer pipe joint that's been displaced kind of outside of South Edge Road. What you should be able to do is just have a complete circle and look through it. This is displaced. If you got displacement like this, that is as bad as this is, any kind of rains, the water's going to run right between those sections where the pipe's displaced. The next one is we've got a misaligned joint. Again, you kind of see from the top portion of that photograph, that's the soil on top of that sewer pipe. That's not supposed to look like that. This is another direct source of inflow infiltration into your collection system. Next one, again, on Edge Drive, we've got a misaligned 6-inch sewer pipe joint that connects to the outfall line that runs down South Edge Road. Again, you should be able to stick your hand through that pipe joint like that. It should be connected. Next one, this is Cedar Street. This pipe is probably a third full, and it runs like this all the time. And this is just a continual stream of inflow infiltration that is going into your collection system. Next one, on Holly Street. We've got a large crack in the pipe, and it kind of looks like plastic hanging down. That's running water. That's just constantly running inflow infiltration into your system, into your sewer system. Again, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is on Montague Street, just by the clay pipe, where a section of the pipe is just cracked and broken off. So you've got a hole that's there. Ultimately, this is probably going to develop into a sinkhole where the street is probably going to sink into the pipe. And this is just, I would say, sampling of what we run into. Since then, and we will come back and update because it's something I want to disclose. But we found in Franklin Street, it's just draining a farm field into your collection system in the Edge Road. We've had some significant root intrusion that we found. Again, that we're getting that out. What our goal is that once we finish, identifying all this, we want to prioritize the areas that are the most heavily contributing towards inflow infiltration into your system. And then based on the prioritization of the worst, you come up with a plan to address those deficiencies and get them corrected. We think in doing this, we can, I don't want to say make point repairs, we can kind of go around and address the issues rather than maybe replacing some areas that don't necessarily need it, even though they may be 40-year-old pipes. What we'll try to do is that we'll address the areas where we've got documented problems. With again, our goal is to eliminate inflow infiltration, and I think we've come up with a good game plan. And again, meet the give updates month by month, showing you some of the more sample pictures, and then ultimately show you the completed report. We'll have videos that, we'll show you some of the results too. So, that's kind of a quick summary, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
So how far are you guys out from getting your summary and all of that
About
stuff?
6 weeks.
About 6 more weeks.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna try to do anything until that period is up so you can properly prioritize everything?
I would hate to say I missed something,
Yeah.
and then right there at the end, we just find the worst of the worst and not have a plan to financially address that. So I'd rather capture all of it than prioritize it, kind of come to an agreement that this is what we need to do, and then move forward with the funds that we got so we can take care of it.
Any other questions on the board?
I have a couple.
Go ahead, Mr.
So based on what the answer you just gave the mayor, we might be looking at a report, at our March meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, with the dues control, their inspection survey and report, will we also be seeing the results of their report?
That's what,
Will it be
basically
part
what
of
I get
this?
is what all this is from them.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so that's what we'll be getting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
No.
The pump station one, we've had some problems with that, a lot of problems, right? When was pump station one put in? How long ago?
1981.
Okay. So, and why did we choose that location if it's in the flood zone? Did we have no other location we could put that in?
Yeah, and normally when you put pump stations, you're gonna put pump stations in the lower elevation areas because, gravity flows downhill. So
Right.
you want your pump stations to be located, where you don't have to build as much infrastructure in place. And, and I can't say, going back, when that pump station was put in, it probably wasn't floodplain. When they reevaluated the floodplain,
So it's a man-made floodplain?
I don't think it was man-made, but I think that after Hurricane Floyd in 1999, when FEMA went through and reclassified the 100 and 500 year floodplains really across the state, I think that one was moved into the floodplain, and rightfully so, because I know it's been flooded on at least 2 occasions.
When was the last time we had an AIA grant to look at our infrastructure?
You had an AIA grant a couple of years ago, but that was primarily just to physically map your infrastructure and not to evaluate or video. This is really the first time that there's been a comprehensive system-wide evaluation where we contract with somebody outside to do it rather than using the town labor forces.
And what causes the misaligned pipes?
It could be a product of construction, and then, based on construction, traffic loading, or it could be some type of physical excavation that occurred after the pipe was installed. You had other utilities that go in, cable TV, telephone lines, things like that come back and re-disturb the soil. Sometimes those will result in, hitting your pipe, causing it to deflect, and, you not being advised of what they're doing.
So we could have had someone come in, contractors come in and do some work and cause that pipe to move, which caused our I&I.
Absolutely.
So how do we not have that happen?
It is almost impossible not to,
Well, it's gotta be an answer for that. We've gotta be able to get something. Don't we have, right, oversight. Oversight, that's the key.
Yeah.
Oversight. Yeah, that was what I was waiting for. In other words, if we have a lot of people, a lot of personnel are paid to inspect and oversee when things happen. Now, I know utility departments, we don't do that. When utilities come in, they get, they have a permit and then they do everything. But we need to, that's what I was concerned with. And it was, as far as the oversight on everything that's going on, and then somebody comes in, all of a sudden, we got heavy equipment on top of utilities and pipes that's causing these problems, but we're not holding anybody responsible.
right, and, I hate to say someone's gonna catch it, and I've been impressed so far that, because, I have seen occasions where, we've seen, conduit just cut through sewer lines. I have not seen it here, so So I am semi-impressed on that.
Now, you mentioned a lot of, on the, like the farmland with the manholes and everything, getting a lot of, when it rains, a lot of the water goes into our sewer and we go to CMSD on that and that's been cleaned. I was not aware of this, I was made aware of it. Isn't there things that we can put under the manhole cover that's like a seal and then like a, it's like a piece of metal that goes under the manhole cover that keeps that rainwater from going into the manhole?
For the manhole, yes.
Well, why don't we have those?
Well, yeah, they're difficult because the first time honestly, you put them in and they function, but the first time you go in there to check them and you displace it and you put it back in there, it's leaks.
Well, I was told other municipals are using them in the area here. That's the reason I asked that. And that's saving there a lot of I from rainfall.
Yeah.
So you're telling me they don't work?
They don't work as good as they're advertised. And the problem that we're seeing is what it looks like is these are some old areas where the sewer lines were put in, there were services put in, but the houses were never built. And so we've just got, open sewer taps that are just draining farm fields. And we need to figure out something to cap those things off and get them out of service.
Well, I say that's something we need to work on. I mean, because we're paying for this. The town of Ayden is paying for all this I that's going to CMSD. When we have ways to prevent it, if possible.
That's correct.
And I think there should be, those manhole covers leak really bad, especially in the farmland areas because, the way the rain flows through there, it gets pretty high and it lifts those covers up. And also too much stuff that's going in the pipe, it's going to lift the covers up as well.
That can happen, yes. And what we're going to do on Slip Creek is we're going to elevate those manholes. So instead of being flush with the ground, they'll be above the floodplain, so they will not flood.
I don't know. I'd like a little bit of feedback on whether or not there's something that can go under that manhole cover that fits there that keeps the rainwater out of the
They
manhole.
call it rain catchers.
Okay, rain catchers. And I was just told they work pretty well. So and you're telling me they don't work, or
The first time you remove them, they don't work. They become more of a hindrance.
and based on this going on, a lot of municipals have this problem with manholes. So no one's came up with a different catch.
Yeah, a lot of them will put, watertight seals where they put gaskets and you got some of them here in town, where they are bolted shut, so they're water sealed. And, when we have areas where we have floodplains, that's what we've started to do, on our new construction is to, put the gasket, watertight manholes, in service.
My opinion is we need to have them on manholes to keep the rainwater from going into the sewer. We've got a manhole cover that's not keeping that out, then we're just throwing money away.
I agree. If we have some that we know are routinely flooded, I absolutely agree.
Right, because I think a catch would be a lot cheaper than building up that manhole, wouldn't it?
Some of them can, they're the streets can.
No, you can't build those up. You need something to keep the water out.
That's right.
Thank you, Rich.
No, you're good.
Any other questions for Mr. Moore? Commissioner Lewis?
Absolutely, yeah. Because, your current regulations don't allow a lot of stuff to be put in that, it was put in back in the '70s.
So what percentage of sewer do we have right now that's up to date?
Up to date, probably 60.
About 60%.
Yeah.
I have one last question, please. During this evaluation that, we'll be presenting with the results of that, is there any way, based on some of these pictures that you were showing us, that when these, situations are corrected, is there any way of being able to determine how much less water, or how much is going to reduce the ion?
It's hard until we do it, and then we know. Some of them we go, like, the manhole on Barwick that's running all the time, those we can get a pretty good handle on. Other than that, those where we've got scratches and breaks and stuff like that, we'll know after we fix it, and then we can kind of compare what our sewer flows are.
Okay.
And because we know what those are based on, because we've got meters at all the pump stations.
That's
So,
kind of where I was alluding,
Yeah.
that we can get just
this is where a problem is, not the whole thing, so, let's target where the sources are, rather than, just trying to, hit the whole area. And you're right, but yeah, we should be able to adequately show the before and after flow to demonstrate what the impact is of the improvements.
I think that would be, very valuable for not just the board, but
Yes.
for everybody involved to know that this has improved their neighborhood.
Right. Yes, and it's
And
not only
and
helping
the
you,
impact on the cost of
on the
all
sewer.
services, the sewer.
Yeah. And in a way, you're protecting the capacity that CMSD has, because, when they have to expand, that's gonna be pricey. So every drop you can, keep out of the CMSD treatment plant is extending the lifespan of that facility, which is what you want.
I'll be interested to see what the results are.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
No, thank y'all.
Any other questions for Mr. Moore? Appreciate you, as always. All right. All right, next up, Chief. Good Chief.
Let's step on up. How y'all doing tonight? Alright, just got a quick presentation. We have our 3 newest police officers. They just, got sworn in last week. They began working with the town back in August. We sent them all to the, police academy at Pitt Community College. They just graduated. And we got them sworn in. We got Chris Hill. He come from the, sheriff's offices at the detention center. Wanted to get out on the streets. And then we have, Josh Williams.
Chief, which one is Chris?
Step up, Chris.
Oh, that's Chris.
That's Chris.
Okay. Chris Hill, you said?
Chris Hill.
Okay.
Then we have Josh Williams right here. He come from Pitt County Animal Control.
Okay.
And before that, he was at Virginia Beach for 5 years as an officer up there. So he's pretty much, good to go. And then we have, Jason Martin on the end. He decided to get in law enforcement at a good age. And, so he wanted to do something a little different. And, but all 3 of them have been great since August, and I look forward to working with all of them.
Okay, very good. I would like to make a statement, and the board can as well. I tell you guys right to your face, I couldn't do what you guys do, man. It's not many people. You guys are special. We're grateful for you to put your life on the line every day. Every day you come to work, your life's on the line. I can't, but you guys can, and just want you to know that we really appreciate you choosing Ayden and choosing our chief as far as leadership, because you won't be laid wrong, and we're glad you're here. Any board comments?
And also, Mayor, with these 3, it does leave us 1 officer short, which is the least number of openings we've had in probably 4 or 5 years. So thank y'all for all the support that you've given us, the changes y'all have done. So hopefully we can get this last position filled here shortly. But with these 3 in training, we're in a good spot. So thank y'all.
Let me, is there anything you guys want to say to us, or, because we like to get to know you more, and we would like for our community to get to know you more. Now, we understand that it takes time, but that's one of our goals for our APD and our community. It's how you get things solved. Working together. That's the motto, working together works. Anything anybody want to say, or?
Just thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity to work for you all and work with the community, and we're really looking forward to getting to know each and one of you, every member of the community.
Wonderful. Thank you, sir. You good?
Thank you as well.
Absolutely, thank you for the opportunity.
All right. Chief, thank you, man,
Thank y'all.
for the selection. All right. Mr. Smith, like to, go ahead, Steve, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, you good.
Good evening. You do have a public hearing tonight on a voluntary annexation petition for the Hobbs Farm subdivision. Request includes approximately 36 acres along Juanita Road. As you'll recall, at the November 12th meeting, the board petition. The clerk did so and presented that to the board at the December meeting. At that time, you also adopted a resolution setting the public hearing for tonight. So the action we're requesting from you tonight is to conduct a public hearing and adopt the annexation ordinances. I'm glad to answer any questions you've got.
Okay, y'all have any questions for Mr. Smith before we open the public hearing? No questions. Okay, at this time, I would like to open a public hearing. Anybody wishing to speak can, come up or whatever. If you do want to speak, nobody want to raise it? Okay. At this time, I will close the public hearing and, ask for a motion to adopt the action requested. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Raymond Langley and second by, Commissioner Davis. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Next up is our consent agenda. Is there any questions regarding, making a motion to pass the consent agenda? Anything that you might be curious about before I ask for a motion and a second? I would like a motion and a second on the, approve the consent agenda. Motion by Commissioner Goff. Second by Commissioner Newell. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. Smith.
Next item before you is a voluntary annexation petition for Creekside subdivision. We have requested a voluntary annexation petition for approximately 41 acres located along NC 102 East. As you'll recall, at your November the 12th meeting, the board did adopt a resolution directing the town clerk to investigate the sufficiency of the petition. That certificate should be in your packet tonight, finding it sufficient to proceed. So tonight, we're looking for the board to adopt a resolution setting the public hearing for February 19th.
Any questions for Mr. Smith? I need a motion and a second to adopt the resolution 24-25-10. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Langley, second by Commissioner Newell, I suppose. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay. Mr. Moore again, he said he would be back.
And, what I've got for you, this is on our, Cannon Street water line replacement project.
Okay.
Where we got $906,000, ARPA grant, to replace 8 water lines that were on Cannon Street, Center College Street, West College Street. We received bids and, the bids came in a lot lower than what we thought. Good. Left us with a contingency of, close to $284,000. And, we approached the state and really kind of inquired as to what we could do to take advantage of those existing funds and not turn them back in or be obligated. And, the state was, basically said that they would consider, any changes, but we were confined to the target area, that was in our application. So we couldn't go to another area of town and try to address infrastructure improvements. We were confined to that Cannon Street area. And so, we went through and completed construction, wanted to get a good handle in terms of what our final quantities were gonna be with regards to the actual water line replacements after we found surprises and fixed all of those. We got all the improvements in place, and, based on that, we contacted the contractor and asked for a price to, mill all the streets that were in the project area, and then provide asphalt resurfacing. And this is an activity that the state has been frowning upon, with the goal of putting the money into the actual physical infrastructure improvements rather than asphalt. And challenge going into it. We presented a draft change order to the state. Again, finalizing the quantities, full disclosure that we wanted to mill and resurface all of the streets. And the state came back and said that they recommended we proceed with approval of the change order, kind of indirectly giving us the concurrence that they were going to approve. So what I've got for you, your consideration tonight, is a resolution that approves the change order. Again, it finalizes the quantities, adds complete milling and resurfacing. I do point out that the streets that are in this project area were, prioritized for resurfacing from your prior street assessment. So these are all streets that, if we couldn't use grant money to do it, we'd have to use power bill money. So, in a way, it's a positive, so kind of, protects y'all's power bill funding a little bit. Again, resolution approving the change order and amending the budget, and kind of based on that, you'll notice from that draft change order and budget that we're still got $40,000 in contingency even after adding, $200,000 of resurfacing into the project, which is good. I've also provided a draft copy of the change order number 3, that was presented to the state, prior to presentation tonight, because I didn't want to present something have y'all approve it and the state deny it. That's not good business. So I've got the email from the Division of Water Infrastructure where they approved the draft change order, and I've also kind of provided a project map so you've got a better understanding of the overall area that we're talking about. So, I think it's a positive because, even though the benefit of the project is really replacing some really poor condition water lines, mostly what everybody's gonna see is what it looks like afterwards, and if you got a new nice paved street, it looks good. If you got patches everywhere and it's rough riding, y'all get lots of phone calls. So, I think this is a win-win, in terms of taking advantage of the excess grant money that we had. So, I'm glad to answer any questions.
Any questions for Representative Ward?
What do we do with the 44 that's left over, coming back to the state?
If we, I'm sure once we get in there with the resurfacing, we're gonna run into something that we're gonna have to raise or fix or something. I'm secretly thinking that we're gonna probably run into some drainage that we're gonna have to fix. But yes, anything that's left over, we'll probably have to turn it back in if we can't come up with it. But I'd rather turn in 40 than 300.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Cobb, Coach, anybody? Further questions? Commissioner?
Based on what you were saying about the 44,000, I know having walked that area, there, is, not so much a sinkhole, but it's the pavement's opening up, you can see down the end where, so to me, that indicates that there's gonna be something once you mill that.
Yeah, that's why we're gonna build it rather than just resurface it and cover it up.
Because it's gonna show you something, it's probably gonna take some of this
Correct.
additional funds, correct?
Correct.
Because I've seen it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. You're right.
Any more questions? All right. Need a motion and a second to approve the resolution, approving change order number 3 and amended capital, project budget order. Motion by Commissioner Newell, second by Commissioner Goff. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Yes. Yeah, the next one I got for you, this is kind of a housekeeping item. We had our 2023 water system improvement project that we looped our, a key transmission water line along Pleasant Plain Road, that, allowed us to kind of, connect our elevated storage tank down, Pleasant Plain and Snow Hill Road, all the way over to, Highway 11, in the vicinity of the, Minch's Bottling Group, facility, and that kind of, gave us a key ability to really enhance the pressure and the fire service capability of our water system to serve what's, being promoted as an industrial corridor, for the town. And, that project was managed and built by the town, but all the money came from Pitt County. And Pitt County, kind of got the money through a, Golden Leaf grant, a grant from the North Carolina Department of Commerce, and a $100,000 direct appropriation from Pitt County. And so, when we finished the project, we had been asking the county for a final counting of their budget so that we could finalize our capital project budget to allow that budget to be closed out and kind of taken away. So, we got the final numbers from Pitt County, and based on those, we've got a final capital project budget ordinance, resolution for y'all's consideration. And again, all this does is to clean up, the budget to match, the final revenues and expenditures that were used towards this project. And again, this was at one point, I should know it, $1.7 million project, and that, the town didn't have to pay for. This was all Pitt County money. So, we like that part of it. Just basically housekeeping, but be glad to answer any questions.
This water system improvements, that was done, for the mentioned bottling plant to be able to get water they needed, correct?
That was an ancillary benefit, but what we promoted it was to improve the fire flow capability of our overall system to serve our, long-term industrial corridor improvements. And these just have the benefit.
So I guess my question is, I understand, that was in the property that's located, what we're talking about, this property, that's all ETJ or county.
Correct.
So with this water line improvement, did it actually benefit the town of Ayden?
Absolutely. What we were seeing was, we were having some pressure problems in our southern service area, and it was a lot of demand on our Snow Hill tank, pushing water down to the Highway 11, like headed towards Griffin, and that was pulling the water away from our primary in town, and not letting us take full benefit of the turnover of our Pleasant Plain Road elevated storage tank. So when we put in that transmission system, it changed our hydraulics of our system, allowed that Snow Hill, our downtown tank, to really be there to serve the pressure needs of our in-town residential customers, and allows that Pleasant Plain tank to really, serve your industrial clients.
So all the homes and everything in reference to Pleasant Plain area and the Snow Hill area are actually being serviced by either Wausau or the town of Ayden?
Well, really Town of Ayden. Yeah, y'all are kind of integrated. Y'all buy your water from Wausau.
Right.
Y'all
So,
are
that's what I was thinking, because I know we have different water companies on east and west. We have different companies that are operating and feeding water to customers, whether to eat, and some, I think, just city limits, aren't they?
Yeah, and Wausau has no direct customer connections. They are just a transportation service to serve Ayden, and they also have a key point to Eastern Pines and to Bell Offer.
Where does Bell Offer stop in the town stop? Out on the south side, southwest side?
We've actually got some parallel lines with them on Pleasant Plain.
Unless some runs down Pleasant and picks up on Hemmerhand Road.
Yep. From Pleasant to like Snow Hill headed towards Green County line.
Right.
That's basically Bell Offer service area.
And then I know back towards Highway 11 on Hemmerhand, Littlefield, and I don't know how far past.
The town goes all the way down Highway 11 to Hammerhand to Warehouser, and that's all Ayden service area.
So I guess everything on the west side might be Bell.
And everything on the west is Bell Offer.
I'm sorry.
That's correct.
Further questions? Mr. Moore? Need a motion to approve the resolution, motion and a second to approve the resolution in the capital project budget ordinance. Motion by
rotate that between all the small communities in the county. So we're kind of off this time, and we'll go back on in 2 weeks. I'm just there to make sure that someone's represented at the meetings, and that Ayden doesn't get forgotten. So this is basically this housekeeping.
And you're doing a great job. I gave you a chance to sit in on one of those meetings, Mallory, and I'm super proud of you. Any questions for Mr. Dennis? If not, I'm gonna need a motion and a second for the requested action, which is to appoint Mr. Dennis to serve on the ENC Alliance Board. Motion by Commissioner Connor. Second by Commissioner Goff. All in favor of the motion? Any discussion, first of all? No discussion. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Dennis.
Thank you all.
All right, thank you. This has came, I think, this will be the third time at the last meeting. We've got feedback from the staff. We implemented those changes to the facilities and properties and facilities rental and use policy. And then also, I'd like to thank Attorney Caraway. He had a few changes in draft paragraph 27. I had put in there active churches. He recommended putting in religious organizations to be consistent with the other language in the policy, and also revision to religious organization. One would avoid potential complaints from religions who may refer to their gathering places as other names, such as mosque, whatever. But basically, that's it. If it's good with the board, and maybe I don't think you were at the meeting, but we had taken what you had recommended 2 meetings ago, and the board that night agreed. So if it's a religious organization doing something for the community, we don't charge a fee. Now, they may have to prove that, we're the preacher of that church or the secretary or whatever. But it's basically all the additions have been made that were requested and that you requested.
And that would be up to your discretion, if you move forward like that.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this, is that just confined to religious organizations, nonprofit organizations here in Ayden, or could it be from the outside that's coming in Ayden?
Yeah, the way I worded it was just Ayden. Okay. And that can certainly be changed. I guess the reason I did that is, the people in town, their tax funds actually help keep the building up and that kind of stuff, but that can certainly be, we can change that and then bring it back if like.
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing to do, because there are organizations that, look for places in towns and cities to come in and to do a good thing. So other than that, I'm good with it. I hope the board.
I have one question on number 28. I know a particular lady, and I might be misreading it, usually reserve the park to have like a, not really a service, a community project. So would number 28 say all churches and non-profit must post a deposit, something like that? Would it be required a deposit?
That's the way it's written, and the only reason is, in case of damage, we're usually really quick about getting that deposit back. That's just to protect the town, but of course, that's up for discussion too. That's just the reasoning behind the deposit.
If they get it back, I mean, it's no problem with that.
So we're gonna need a motion to approve the Town of Ayden revised properties and facilities rental and policy as presented, in addition to what I mentioned to the manager.
Yes, to include area churches instead of just town proper.
Motion.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem. Second by Coach Davis. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Manager. Next up, items for discussion.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
if you would, sir, you guys, agreed to add in 20 members to the Arts and Rec Commission. It's just not on the original.
Oh, it's not.
We got to today, four.
So, Mr. Clerk, we're looking for four.
Yes, and, Mr. Duncan's available for any questions the board might have.
Come on up, yes,
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, son.
I've got 4 people interested in, signing up on the board right now. That's still gonna leave us, like 2 short. To be full. No, actually, 1 short.
One short.
Yeah, well, 1 short, I'm looking at rewriting our policy, but we're supposed to have 7 board members. I'm gonna reduce it down to 5, so that'll be the first business we take care of in January after we elect officials and everything, so, yeah.
Would that put you one over? I'm sorry. Would that put you one over if you add 4? If you go down to 5?
No, that puts us, we're still gonna be 1 short, cause I don't have an alternate. I'll keep it 5 with 1 alternate. So, we'll be we need 1 more to fill the alternate spot.
I have one question, and it's not just directed at Arts and Rec, it's pretty much directed at quite a few things that we do in the town of Ayden. Do you, or have you got the capability, are any of these board members gonna be around, the kids that attend the Arts and Rec and be part of the program itself, or they just will be?
Liz Pate, she's a coach, her husband coaches for us, and her kids play for us.
I guess my question, the reason I asked that was, Dilley County Arts and Rec's a great program, you got a great program.
Yeah.
But do we do any kind of background checks on, anyone that's around the kids?
Oh, yes, our coaches, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So anyone that's affected with the kids?
they're with the kids, I send it to, the same one that somebody hires, if we hire a new employee here in town, he goes to HR, they run it through the background process and lets us know if they're a yay or nay.
Right.
And, we told coaches they couldn't coach because they didn't pass it.
How about the folks up here that are around children?
No, they're not around kids.
Okay, so that's just on the committee of the board.
Correct, yeah, I don't go background check with them, I could, if I wanted to, every one of these I know would be fine.
So, Mr. Duncan, it's safe to say that what we have in our hands now are your recommendations pretty much?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just wanted to know what you want to say. And the reason we're looking at these names like this, was the time up for other members to come off the board or whatever?
See, January, our bylaws are written, and when I first came here, nobody was following them, and then during COVID, we got them all straight. You're supposed to, your 3 years is supposed to be up in January. The bad part about that is, I pretty much got a lot of them that expired this January. I've got like 2 or 3 that are good, got a couple that are good until, one's like the 26th, and one's the 27th. So they'll either come off the board, and they want to get renewed, and they'll have to be renewed to the board in January of, next year and following year. These people here, they'll be good until the 28th. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.
So, does the board feel that you have enough information?
I'm not sure.
Does the board feel we have enough information on these applications to make a decision tonight? Or would you need more time?
I think we got enough.
You got enough? Everybody? Everybody feel good?
I just have one question. These are the only four, or these are just your selections?
No, these are only 4.
Only four that apply?
Yeah. Advertised twice.
So I was, the mayor asked, said, go ahead. Cause I'm surprised that with the boards we have in the town of Ayden, we normally had quite a few. When was this advertised, these positions?
Jeremy.
Late October, beginning of November one time, and then getting into December of the second.
And we only got 4 applicants.
Well, we didn't really get in. I made phone calls to these people, a lot of these people I wanted to get Hunter Cannon because he's he's 28. He's a young person in town. He grew up in the rec center. He worked for the rec center and stuff, and I think Hunter would be a good candidate to get on the board, because he's gonna bring some young blood to the board. Let's see. Get the names, I'm getting reappointed here. Erin Kessler, her husband, is a basketball coach, and he also coaches flag football for us and women and the girls basketball here at the rec center. They do it together as a husband and wife. So I asked her, Robin, he's been serving on the board, and Elizabeth, she's been serving on the board too. Those two when they come back.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Duncan?
Y'all know I used to serve on the board.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when you retire from here, we'll get you back.
So I guess we're gonna need, a motion and a second to accept the application that, Mr. Duncan submitted to us. Motion by Commissioner Lord.
I'll say.
Second by Coach Davis. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, let it be known by aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Wood.
Thank you. Great.
Next up, items for discussion. First one we have, Mayor Pro Tem Langley regarding the AMI.
I brought, there was mics off.
Yeah, I think they are.
He turned them on. Jeremy turned all the mics off.
I was having too much feedback, I'm sorry, I took them out.
If you can't hear me, I'll speak up louder. We brought the AMI up for discussion on a couple of different occasions. I had a conversation with one of the staff this afternoon, and we talked about, citizens and basically ratepayers using the AMI portal and being able to look at their consumption. And it's got some information there about how you can look at your water consumption and your electric consumption. But I was also informed in the past that we were working on getting some kind of triggers in place to alert high consumption. Well, I don't know, quite honestly, unless Marsha has something there, when that's gonna happen. Any ideas on the triggers?
Well, we did work on the water, parameters, and I'll back up. So, I can touch base with electric, because electric's allowed in the portal. Anyone that can go in to the portal that's threshold. And we encourage anyone to call customer service to get their average, because you wanna make sure your average is where it's not so low that you're being dinged on your cell phone that you've got over usage. So I'm gonna segue into that, because when we met, board members, we talked about the AMI update with the water. We did go to NextGrid. We were setting up parameters within, trying to figure out the best way to utilize the data in front of us. And what happened was, we called a few people because of the data that we were getting, and we scared the mess out of some people, because we said, hey, you're using too much water at this particular time. And so we had to step back and punt. Electric Cities, Town of Ayden, NextGrid, and Tyler all met virtually on December the 5th, and we're still working on getting that data to read correctly into the portal. That ticket's still open, due to the holidays. I'm sure that's the delay in it, but we're close to going live with that. So then you also will be able to set that threshold online as soon as that information will go online in the portal.
Right. Well, I guess my concerns are, I was under the impression, and this is going back years with AMI, you know, when AMI was first sold to the Town of Ayden, that there would be triggers or alerts in place with our system. That's what it was designed for, to let the Town of Ayden know when we had excessive use on electricity. Are we not gonna have that? I mean, is the Town of Ayden the monitoring station that we have for our electric? Are we not gonna have any triggers that show excessive use? Or is it gonna go back on the consumer to have that? Or, because I was under the impression over the years that the Town of Ayden would have those triggers in place, and then like you did or your staff did on the water, hey, we noticed we're using a lot of water here.
Right.
And oh, by the way, I'm taking a shower, you know.
Right. Well, to be very honest with you, we do have those alerts going out right now. There's a whole stack of door hangers that's going out with high usage. As far as the reports, right now we're getting a lot of the emergency reports that sends out the electric crew. And we're still working through it, because it's not as simple. If I'm understanding correctly with the water, what I've seen is that when we did go in and set the parameters, we thought we had similar to another water corporation that they gave us, but we did not have it. I mean, I'm being very honest with you, we did not have it correct. So we just are still working through this data on top of the daily duties. And I know with the electric, they just were sent out because something was burning, and that was an electric fire. That alert went out. So we do have some emergency reporting going, and we're still trying to tweak the information.
Yeah, I was told that was a meter that was being too much voltage going to it, causing
Correct.
meter damage. I understand that, but my concerns are this. AMI has been in place for a while. Raymond Langley, twice since I've had an AMI meter, I've been operating on emergency heat, which is excessive energy usage. I've gotten a high bill, and there's no alert. There's no nothing that told me that I was using emergency heat. So, other than, when I called HVAC, they came out and it was a faulty sensor on a heat pump outside that was not allowing it to run, which caused the heat strips to run, which caused my bill to go outrageous.
Right.
So my point was, the AMI, I never got anything about an alert or anything, so I'll move past that. Are we going, in the future, are we gonna have those alerts in place?
I sure hope so.
Okay, number two, I talked to staff, and I was told, again, the consumer can go in and set their threshold.
Correct.
Okay, and I understand that. I understand it. I'm a computer guy. I went in today and set my thresholds. I believe that we can put together something on our website, either a PowerPoint or something, or a little video that can take the customer through what to do, and if they need to call, which I didn't call you guys, maybe I should, maybe I will tomorrow, on what I should be setting my thresholds for.
And we.
Because I set mine, I did set it, I think, I looked at my daily consumption, and then I kind of got a threshold. But we need some instructions online that, for a person that doesn't operate a lot on computers, can follow step by step by step, how to put that in there, and how to email alert or text alert. So, it does, I'm trying to protect other people for not having, what happened to me again, not happening to them.
Correct.
Because it's very expensive.
It is, and we're working with Jeremy to get something out with, some, photos and marketing about that.
Okay.
But we wanna encourage people to do the average and not such a low threshold, because it will ding,
Right.
if you
My
set
phone
it.
hasn't gone off yet, so I think I'm good.
Okay,
I set them a little,
yes.
I set it, you know, where I thought was good.
Mhm.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I can give you an update on some other stuff we're working on if you'd like, unless you don't have this.
So, Mayor.
Well, you're gonna talk, you say you might call tomorrow, so.
Oh, I'm gonna call about the threshold thing tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
How long will this take?
I can just give you a little quick overview, because we've got a lot of
As
juggles.
in how many minutes?
3.
Okay, cool.
Okay, we're very close to going live with the water data in the portal. We've had some holiday considerations with December. Still working on the parameters of the next skid reports. Door hangers are going out today. Customer service has been working on the end of the year duties, debt set-offs for past utility bills, and grass cuts, for which we've been working with Mr. Caraway about possible. We're gonna come up with a plan for you all, in the next couple of months. Equal payment kicks off in February. Customers must have good payment history with the town and must have lived in the residence for the past year to sign up. This is a great way to budget across 12 months. You take the average and you pay, every month the average amount. At the end of the year, if you owe, or at the end of the year we owe, it settles out. Well, if you owe, you pay us, we figure that out. It's just a way of budgeting. We just updated our website for quick payment. We changed the last invoice amount. We had some feedback from customers. To current address, because when we charged the convenience fee, one of the questions to get into your account for security was, what was your last month's bill? And when you pay online, you have the convenience fee, so it was causing a lot of issues, so we made that adjustment. We're encouraging any client that would call us for their portal. We'll have some marketing pretty soon about that. We started a notification for the 4 to 2 cycles, letter for special due date clients have been mailed. U.S. Postal Service, the general letter has gone out to, for the mail inserts for the billings, the Caller Chronicle, and also, Bianca, thank you for your article, that covered a lot of the 42, appreciate that.
You're welcome.
The town received $5,000 from Electric Cities for a system betterment grant for the time of use study that's being studied right now with the electric AMI data. More details to come. I attended the North Carolina Kemper Lake meeting last week. You will see more information about that the next month. Right now, we are charging for the PCA rider for rider 123. For 122. I'm gonna come back to you next month and ask for that adjustment for 123. We discussed that back in the budget. We kind of knew that was coming. The town started paying the second rider in October. Retail customer survey. Unfortunately, this survey is only gonna be online. It's gonna roll out February and March. Jeremy has the toolkit. That's gonna give us some feedback on where we're gonna guide, any type of information if you decide to approve the time of use rate and, possibly upgrade for the invoice. Working with Electric Cities on this project, e-reliability software discussion came about with Keith Alligood and myself and Electric Cities. So hopefully with that, it's a free software where we can map our outages, but we would have to use old maps, possibly AI, and the AMI data so that we can figure out any type of areas where we're having the biggest issues. So Electric Cities are gonna discuss that more on their end, so they think more towns will have that same issue. So hopefully that's gonna be maybe a student internship position moving forward. But we've been working hard on poll agreements between MetroNet, Brightspeed, Altium. Most of them have all been paid up. But we have requested a on-site inspection from Brightspeed so that we can figure out ownership of about 650 poles. So, a lot going on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Pro Tem, we still, under the items for discussion, you had mentioned,
know that I have discussed it, and we have discussed it, and you and I have had conversations about this in the past. And I know we had some understaffing issues, and we had some, probably some officers that weren't trained in radar and LiDAR. Are we a little bit better off now on, as far as for LiDAR and radar?
Well, the 3 officers you met tonight, obviously they don't go to radar school in the basic law enforcement academy, so currently they have to go through a 3-month field training program with us when they learn how to be a police officer with us. And then, once they do that, within the first year of employment, they have to go through a 40-hour radar school at some point in time. And then there's also a 40-hour intox class that they have to go to handle drunk driving. So, as within the first year of employment, they would have radar.
Do we currently have the capability in the town of Ayden to calm the downtown area, which is 102 Lee Street? Do we have enough staff currently to calm that area down for the amount of vehicles that are speeding through our town?
Yes.
Okay, when can we, the bottom line is, it's a safety issue to cross the street in downtown Ayden. Not only, and I know that the county is, or the state's gonna put something together the first of the year.
Crosswalk, I believe they're working
Correct.
on.
And I know that's gonna go in, but if you would start walking across the street and you had the right of way, and the light is red, and the other light is getting ready to change, and you get the middle way, the car that's coming down the road that's 20 miles per hour, it's not going 20 miles an hour. So you've got to rush to get across the road because of the speed of the vehicles. So I'm asking for your help, and this is for not just pedestrians in our town, but also local property, business property, of getting damaged. Now, I know that the last accident we had was stupidity on, lack of, on the driver driving way too fast. But there are business owners that are concerned about vehicles running into their building because of the speeds that are happening in downtown. And we haven't had an accident in a while, but if they do have an accident because of the speed, they're gonna hit a building. Most of the time.
There was,
After the mayor said, he's right, probably mine.
for the last few years, we have been understaffed. Instead of having 3 officers on a shift, you've been down to having 2 officers that are working. They're called out to do other things than traffic enforcement downtown. There has been an emphasis to work the downtown area, and I believe last year in town, if I remember correctly, we had 249 crashes total for the year. So it was, I think the number actually went down. I can get you the numbers for actually the personal injury wrecks. I think we had 2 fatalities last year, both on the highway. So I will get you those numbers. The number of traffic stops the officers did last year, they went up. And also the number of citations issued in the last year had went up. So a lot of it has to do with staffing, but you're never gonna stop speeding cars with just cops. It ain't gonna happen. There's way too much traffic on the road.
Well, and you and I, like I said, you and I have had this discussion in the past. I do see ADPD at different areas around the town, like down here, down by the Beasley Auto Body. I'll see them out there. I don't know. I guess they're running radar. I'm not sure. Or down here at the end of Highway 11, Old 11, up there by the Machine Works. Those are 55, and then you got 45. But I really think the major part of the traffic through this town is 102 and 11. That's where a lot of your traffic's going down 11 and going down 102.
Yeah,
other than the main highway.
Yeah, they work a lot of the downtown district in the morning, usually before they get called to doing other stuff, like 7 and 9 o'clock is the emphasis, and then in the afternoon they work it again. And we have talked with the state some ideas on what we thought we could do to safeten that area. I guess the engineer said we can't put barricades up on that sidewalk to prevent cars from going into the Brian, do you know where we are, Commissioner, as far as the crosswalk and getting those installed?
That is it was into the next, the last two phases to be coming through, and what that would be is actual pedestal heads on the actual poles, it's second, third, if I'm not mistaken, where you actually push it to give you a time to cross.
And a lot of the things that you see people walking downtown too, they're not going to the crosswalks, they're jaywalking. That's another, issue, downtown, but we have not had a pedestrian, wreck in that area in the last couple of years.
I reached out to Charlie at Cinder Rings, he had called me, and we were talking about putting a protective barrier in front of your store. The way the right of way reads down the center of 102 and 3rd Street, it actually said it's a 62-foot right of way. Well, if it says 62-foot right of way, it's in your business. So what they said was, you could put a protective barrier up against your building property line. And if for some reason the state comes, we're gonna redo the sidewalks or whatever, if they didn't replace that, they would pay you for what you did. So that's something you could do.
Could I, say something, I don't think I'm off subject. From time to time, I go down and, Mayor Pro Tem and I will chat, I'm just coming with reality and facts here. Can y'all hear me okay? Okay. Anyway, I've said something to Mayor Pro Tem, more than several times about people coming through our downtown, I call it hot dog. And if they feel that they can come right by APD hot dog, rest of Ayden is, and no mercy, really. I know you guys do a great job. I'm wondering, what kind of presence could we use downtown, meaning physical presence, like offices or whatever? Because, something's gonna happen. I mean, something has happened. Their Pro Tem place has been hit 2 times, I do know, not 3.
Twice in 22.
Twice in 22. So, we had discussed, and not trying to tell you guys what to do, because we are not trained in that. We don't know nothing about law enforcement, but we're just talking from, a board point. If someone could be parked down there, like maybe where the old Mosley place, what's the name of it, service station right across. Kind of back there, to help them, because
A lot of it too in downtown, the way downtown in Ayden's set up, is no different than a lot of other downtowns. You can put a police car at the Quality Tower, or you can put them by the barbershop, wherever you want to. Your view is very limited. You have parking on the side of the road, you're not gonna see that car. So that's another issue. If you have downtown parking, we're lined up down the streets. If you pull off of Lee Street onto 3rd Street, you have cars, you're not gonna see a cop car that's parked, on 3rd Street.
Well, what can we do, Chief?
Well,
what can y'all get us, what do we need to do as a board to help you, because these cats keep coming through their hot dogs and things.
well, the only thing we can do is, stop them when we see them, issue citations. They have been, doing that, and a lot of, too, the speed limit downtown is, 20 miles per hour. So they've been aggressive, they're going, say 27 or so, they're stopping them, giving citations. So, I mean, we're working on it.
The time that I've seen is like, it's coming through, it's probably maybe 5 o'clock till about 7.
Yeah, now a lot of it is, 18-wheelers, but that's a state maintained road, so that's their commercial route, they're coming. A lot of those, if they're running, 30 in that 20 zone, it looks a lot faster than it is. We had an incident this past year, probably about 6 months ago. A truck at like 5:30 in the morning was making a right turn from Lee Street onto 3rd Street heading east, and he took the traffic light out right there.
They hit it again during the Christmas parade.
So, if people went out paying attention on the road, hopefully once we full staff, these guys better do some more traffic enforcement.
Is there any way we could just hammer them?
Oh, yeah.
Just hammer them until they say, well, wait a minute, we start getting in their pocket with insurance and citations. I mean, when I'm on the speed limit, a lot of times, and I've called you a couple times.
Oh, yeah, it's all over town. The guy was coming down 3rd Street that day by And another thing that we do from time to time for other things, we can bring extra staff in and, hammer this point home, have 2 or 3 officers that just work in traffic enforcement. Again, that comes back to a budget. If we have money, funds and overtime funds or salary out, we can bring those guys in towards the end of the budget year to really, work that area.
My main concern, and what you said, and you made me, by what you just said, we're putting money in safety.
Yeah.
So there is none. We've got to find the money for safety. We can't have safety be not affordable, you know, and I will say this, it's not just people out of town, it's everybody flies through downtown. It's 20 miles per hour. I don't know what, you know, officers will set, like you mentioned 27. You know, what is the speed limit that's acceptable in a 20? The lower the speed limit, the higher it should be down. I mean, if you're going in a 35 mile per hour, you might say 42. But in a 20, you can't give 10.
No, and they're not giving 10, but you also have to issue the, courts are overcrowded too. So, I mean, you're not taking a traffic ticket for 5 over.
No, I agree. But I guess my main thing is when I was, because I've been complaining about this for a long time, and you know I have, a long time. But my first thing was, I'm not telling you how to do your job, but I don't want a lot of people getting tickets and have their insurance go up and things of that nature, and lose points, and that's not my objective. I just want them to slow down. So, but if it's not working, then you're gonna have to, I mean, you guys have to sign it. I mean, it's gonna end up costing money.
I do think another thing that the town, that we've done in the last year and a half, those speed limit signs that are up, they do flash and they do catch your attention if you're, you know, heading east or west to get you to slow down, and they are visible.
They were, I really do think, and I appreciate the one you put up over there right up by Happy's, but I think what happens is people become, what's the word here? Where it's there all the time, they already know it's there, so now they're gonna get, you know.
And a good thing too, that's gonna help eventually as the town grows with more traffic, you're not gonna be able to speed downtown because there's, you know, there'll be traffic in front of you, so.
Or you're gonna have more accidents.
Well, you will have more accidents when more people driving because people don't pay attention.
Look at it like this. It can be a lot worse,
Could be.
cause you got 2 stoplights there, you know, one on what, 7th? And Lee and one on 3rd and Lee. If those 2 stoplights weren't there, they'd probably be going 40, 50 through town.
But we will do, some more enforcement in the, downtown area, and like I said, as we're getting into the, spring and the summer, depending on funds, I can bring extra staff in that are, the guys that are radar certified, and they can, work that area.
Well, you know as well as I do, when the word gets out, that if you drive through Ayden, you're speeding, you're gonna get a ticket. You'd be surprised how fast that word will get out, and when people will start slowing down. So enforcement, I think, will solve, I'm not saying it's forever, you know, but if people speed and you pull them over, I believe that we can set a precedent for the town of Ayden.
Yeah, I want to say in the last year, I want to say, I run the numbers for last year, I want to say that the number of traffic stops, I want to say it was up by like 20% from the year before. So, I mean, they are actually doing traffic enforcement and, outworking. So, and the faster they get on the road and work the
And I appreciate that.
You know, a while ago, I don't know if some of y'all remember now, it was like that in one of them.
That's right, I remember.
They were stopping everybody to go through there.
What do you do now when you go through Winterville?
I don't go through one of them.
Well, people go around. But, Chief, I appreciate it, so you get 20% more, probably, I mean, I understand the money goes towards the county and everything, the tickets to it and all that stuff, I understand that, because a lot of people think when you give a ticket out, the agent gets the money.
We get nothing.
No, I know, but, I appreciate it, and we do need some heavy enforcement. We do. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry. sorry, just for accuracy, was that hot dogging it?
Yes, ma'am, well, that's what it, yeah, that's what it is. That's another term. Hey, it is what it is. Commissioner New, you had, some interest in,
The policy for town employees using town vehicles, taking them home, so on. The police department has a very detailed policy on, what we do, patrol cars and all, but I'm more directed towards public works, sanitation, sewer. Our policy is very vague. I think we need to look at, rewriting the policy. Also have a question about how we monitor fuel usage. I don't know, I know there's a unit there, I don't know if Steve can answer if it still works or not, where they can get actual fuel, does it give you a?
Yeah, each employee has an individualized key, it's a key system, so you push it in the pump.
Okay.
It registers that key to the vehicle that's assigned to that driver or that key, so that's all captured through Fuel Master, I believe.
That's right, we have the same thing.
Yeah,
So you get a report on that.
you get monthly.
Monthly reports, and Abby can tell you who, she color codes them by enterprise accounts, and we charge back electric, water, sewer, yes.
So she can email me those each month?
Not at the moment right now, because we actually have a part ordered, because the system is about 50 years old, and we probably will need to
Internal,
upgrade it.
it was internal, all the data was stored on a hard drive in the computer.
Okay.
That hard drive crashed. The data is unrecoverable, so we're looking at switching the plan that we have with Fuel Master, where it'll convert to a cloud-based storage, so that way.
Is it
But
also?
it's archaic, so it's been around a while.
Yeah, we've got the Hans now. So, say when that truck comes up, you put fuel in it, does it also give you like, say, this truck's running 5,000 miles, now it needs a service, does it give you that too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not through the Fuel Master, the new GPS things that we have on the vehicle. They have a code reader built in. I don't think there's maintenance thresholds placed in there, but there can be.
So, I don't know, so there's systems out there say where you go straight to your shop and says, okay, this truck's 5,000 miles, it's time for a service, it's 10,000 miles, it's for 10,000 mile service. And so each truck has a number that goes with that key, that goes with that fuel usage. Right.
How soon, based on what Commissioner, the information, Commissioner, and the questions he had, how soon do you think we will have a system in place, to address his concerns?
I'll have to look into Fuel Master to see if in this new pricing scheme that we're going to, they have the maintenance component. If not, we'll look more into FirstNet. Like I said, currently, it tracks mileage, it tracks location, and it also reads the engine codes. So you can actually go into that system and it'll tell you whether the module itself has a code issue, or it's basically like another ODB scanner. So it's picking up those engine codes. Granted, I don't think, depending on makes and models, it's giving you the generic code, at least it gives you somewhere to start, to know that way. And there's somebody says, hey, my engine light's on, well, we can go into that system and say, okay, here's what it's showing. At least we have a ballpark idea of what's going on, and we can look into that further instead of, checking the whole thing.
We have the laptops and all the pull the codes in our shop.
I don't know, I know we've got a couple readers.
We primarily run with Ford trucks.
It depends. Most of the smaller trucks are Fords. We've got, I think there's some Kenworths in there, and there's some other makes. It's bigger equipment away from the Fords, but it's compatible with all. So
Okay, so it's not like you have to have an actual subscription.
Right, I can go in there and look at a garbage truck, and if it had a light, if the light was on, you could tell what the code was.
So do we have anything at all based on his concerns to address some of those concerns before we get the big picture together? Is it anything that you perhaps give Commissioner Newell, regarding some of the statements that he made to kind of help him along? Is there anything ready at this time?
I've got fuel reports in my office, I think that goes through October.
Yeah, and the other thing is just the policy is very vague on individuals taking trucks home. There's no, say, hey, once you take this truck home, you can't stop at the grocery store, you can't carry your kids to the mall, and
to and from, right?
Right, unless there's an emergency. Who's driving on call? Is everybody driving a truck home? And then there's only one person on call that comes back. Just, drug policy. Do we do breathalyzer tests in the mornings random? Do we do drug tests random? Who drives a state or town vehicle home? That's a big liability. What are we paying insurance in our budget here just for vehicles?
For
200,000?
vehicles? I don't know, I've got workman's comp price on, it's lumped into the liability insurance, so.
Yeah. So, and that's just my questions. I think we need more detailed policy for that
It's expensive.
to protect us.
Yeah, I think, and I'm trying to go off memory, I know several years ago, I think there was some discussions amongst the board at the time, outside of the police department's policy that was put in place. I remember discussions about, staff vehicles as well, so, I think we can all look into that. I know they're already currently working on a updated, drug, alcohol policy, so that should be coming back to you in the future as well.
Thank you, Steve.
Any further questions, Commissioner?
Steve, I have one question. With the hard drive that crashed, we have no historical data. Do we have paper copies of the fuel consumption?
Yeah.
Okay, and so
Just
now,
going forward, we have everything up until that date, it's just we're working.
and we have a way to track it now.
Once we repair, again, that's where we're in conversations with Fuel Master. We've got to pay them more now because we're gonna switch to a cloud, one of their cloud-based.
But you're tracking fuel consumption currently.
Yes, the system is still tracking it, yes. And every time, just like, yesterday I filled my tank, so I put fuel in, it registers, it picks it up, put the mileage in, so yes, it's knowing what's being used.
So you've got the old push key system. You put the mileage in, if the mileage is not correct, it gets.
Exactly, right, but then you can override it, so, yeah. So again, archaic. So,
Yes.
Any further questions? Okay, next item, policy review, will you take care of that, Commissioner Thomas? We got mention to add something. So good on that? Okay, all right. Staff departmental reports, does anybody need to hear from staff on anything? Anything staff wanted us to hear? I'll keep moving right along. Next up, board comments. Starting with Commissioner Law.
I get to go first. Well, we always thank everybody for being here because it's very important to have you all here and to know what's going on. That being said, I'm very excited about 2025, about serving the community, about the future of Ayden, working with the board, working with staff. And, regardless of some negative comments and complaints that we see on social media, there's excitement, there's positive feedback from the citizens of Ayden, from the businesses of Ayden. So I think that we're moving forward in a very positive, way. Can there be improvements? Yes. But, if there's things that the board needs to look into, decisions that the board needs to make, that, citizens feel that, that we need more information, that share that with us. Because, we're just human beings, we make decisions based on the information we're given. If there's something that needs to be addressed, then bring it to us, bring it to the mayor, bring it to the town manager, but, let us know what you need and what you want. So that then we can make good decisions for the betterment of our community and for the betterment of all of our citizens. And I think that's the goal of this board, and then it's the goal of mine for 2025. I also want to commend our staff, but especially, with the police department, you all are posting your calls, on your website. I think that's very good for citizens to see what our police department is doing and how you're trying to make our community safer. Having 3 new officers, of course, is going to increase, the productivity of that and the safety issues for the town, so I appreciate that a lot. Reading the staff reports, y'all have been very busy, and we do appreciate everything you do, everything, so thank you.
Commissioner Davis?
I just want to thank everybody for coming out.
Commissioner Newell. Kinda same thing Cindy said, we appreciate what y'all do, we know you have limited resources, it can be overwhelming at times, believe me, state government's not fun to work for at times. But we do appreciate what you do, hopefully this will be a better year in 2025 for everything, and if I can help any of you in any way, please give me a call. Thank you.
I agree with what has already been said, in addition to that, I want the citizens to know, a lot of times it might seem like I'm not paying attention to what you're saying, and a lot of times I'm not vocal, and I'll make comments, but I be paying attention to, what is being said, and I take it into consideration, and at some point in time, I might get with staff, or I might be bring it back in public to, help improve the situation, because some things, well, everything that you say is beneficial for the town, and I take it very serious to what is being said. On some policy, that one reason that I ran for commissioner, some policy I don't quite agree with, so I listen to when the citizen have come in, they're thinking something the same way that I have, but a lot of times I don't say anything, but at the correct time, I will bring my opinion back to the board so that we can discuss it to make improvement. Also, we have Martin Luther King Day service this Monday at 2 at Zion Chapel Church here in Ayden. Everybody's welcome. Welcome to the new police officers and the employees that are doing a good job. And want Marcia to find some money so that we can get some new computers, because the ones that we have are trash. Okay.
Reiterate everything that's been said so far, I think, Commissioner Gall, said quite a bit that we all really support. And Commissioner Newell and Commissioner Connor and Coach Davis. I want to say Happy New Year, and I think 2025 is going to be a great year for our town and our country. I do want to say, if any time, especially whoever it may be, sometimes when I talk to people, I'm a little direct, and it's not anger. It has nothing to do with that. It's just my personality. And sometimes when I start conversations before I finish, I'm already apologizing, because I can see when I talk, sometimes people think I'm mad at them, and I'm not. It's just I'm a very direct person. If I have something to say, I want to get it out there, and in that way we can discuss it or talk about it. Appreciate everyone coming out tonight and hanging in there with us. Thank you.
Okay. I concur with everything that's been said. I won't go into a whole lot. The department heads, we appreciate your report. It means a lot to us. We may not call on you every time that you're here, but thanks for bearing patience with us. We do look at these reports, we take them to heart, and we try to be there for you guys. Based on what Mayor Pro Tem just said, the way I look at it, we are imperfect people trying to do a perfect job for you all. So I ask that you bear with us. We're all in this together. One day when the kids look back on this, you're gonna say, yeah, we were all in that together. So let's try to work better, together more with one another, so we can